First matter we'll take up is the public hearing on the proposed changes to the parking ordinance on the Eastern Trail, which proposes to allow parking on the western side of Limerick Road closer to the trail. Does anybody have any comments, questions, speaking for or against?
Have you heard anything at all about this?
Absolutely nothing. Emailed it a couple times. I expected to hear from certain people, and I did not.
Raj, did you get a chance to look at the print that's kind of drawn up?
I guess not.
No, I was looking up Gadboy's.
Yeah, the survey. You've seen Gadboy's survey. That's where we got the stakes, and that's where when he had laid it out a year and a half ago or so. Pretty sure that's where everything came from. Paul Gadboy's had done a survey of the Limerick Road in that area.
Survey itself, yeah, okay. I thought you meant he did a layout of the...
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yes, I did see that.
I'll give you guys some directions.
Huh? All right, then we'll close the public hearing. Parking ordinance. Then we'll call the regular meeting to order. And commence with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
agenda. Any additions to it?
No, sir.
Anybody else?
Jen from Parks and Rec, she didn't know when she could be here, but she wanted to add a brief discussion on Christmas tree. She's in the building somewhere, she said, for a meeting on something.
Okay.
She asked if I could just,
Why don't
we can even do it under new business if you
We'll
want.
put it under old business, I guess. That's just what I want to talk about. Right? It's the
I would assume a new tree.
new tree. You know?
She thought maybe 7:30ish she could be here.
Sure. Okay. With that addition,
Make a motion we approve it amended.
Second?
all in favor? Public forum, anybody have something they want to raise with the board that's not already slated to be discussed on the agenda? Moving right along. Minutes of May 12th.
The motion we approve written. I couldn't see anything to fix what the...
I'll second. Nobody has any changes?
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to do the last.
Understood. Okay, I have a motion to approve as prepared, seconded, all in favor? So approved. Committee and boards, reports.
RSU and Town of Arundel and State of Maine primary elections will be held tomorrow, 6/10/14 from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. at the Arundel Fire Station, 468 Limerick Road. Public hearing on Arundel seasonal cottage TIF will be held on Wednesday at 6 p.m. in the ML Day School Gymnasium prior to town meeting. Open town meeting will be held Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the ML Day School Gymnasium. Planning board will meet Thursday, June 12th at 7 p.m. in the ML Day School Library, and the Economic Development Committee will meet Thursday, June 19th at a location to be determined.
Does anybody have anything else? Committee boards? Okay. Moving forward then to new business. Consideration of approving the Eastern Trail parking ordinance amendments to allow parking on the northerly side.
Are you kidding me?
We'll get into straight one of these days. I think it's on the westerly side.
I do believe you're correct.
The Limerick Road is designated in designated parallel parking spaces.
It says it's extending in both a southeasterly and northeasterly and southeasterly direction for 1,000 feet.
Yes.
Provided, however, parallel parking may be allowed on the westerly side of the Limerick Road in an area between the westerly sideline of the Limerick Road and the travel portion of the way So, being located easterly of the line described as follows, so.
Yeah, westerly.
It runs north-south, so it's gotta be.
Yeah.
West. West, yeah.
I make a motion, we approve it.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor then? Okay. And B, Ms. Zook is here to discuss request to hold the EDC meetings at Where's Motors with us.
Yes.
Ms. Zook.
Sorry I wasn't here.
That's
for
okay.
last meeting. There wasn't, there was, I guess, some questions as to why we wanted to hold the meetings there. And it's not because we wanted to show off the new building. I know that was discussed. Although, if it brought more people to the EDC meetings, you know, we'd like to do that, but there's only 6 that usually go, and they've already seen the building. The number one reason why we want to have the meetings there is basically the only place that really meetings can be held is here. If this room is taken, the conference room doesn't work. There's no projection ability, there's no Wi-Fi. We like to show a lot of reports. We're often looking up things. We don't carry everything with us, and it just, if we have the ability, we have a large screen TV in the conference room, plug in the computer, and whatever anybody wants to look up or do, it's all right there. I do understand that you can do that with this as well. It works, but if this room is taken, then it's really difficult for us to hold our meetings. That being said, we have a member that's going to be out having surgery. We're talking about Skyping him in because we don't want to lose him for 4 months. So more than ever, it's going to be important for us to have Wi-Fi and the ability to project, to use the big screen. So those are the main reasons. The other reason is consistency. We often find ourselves in the wrong place because we never know where we're supposed to meet. You know, if we're supposed to be here, sometimes we'll end up over, you know, I guess we don't pay close enough attention, and there's been more than one of us who have ended up at the wrong place. We can just have a consistent place of holding our meetings. It would really benefit us. Small reasons why we want to have them there that really don't amount to much. It's closer for a lot of us. Coffee, comfortable seats, all that other good stuff. But I guess those aren't real important. But the most important thing is that internet capability and the consistency. That's pretty important to us. As far as there being the concern about people being uncomfortable about attending meetings there because it's a place of business, I honestly don't buy that. We're going to be holding a fundraiser there for the Education Foundation of the Kennebunks. I don't believe that anybody is concerned about people not showing up because it's a place of business and they wouldn't feel comfortable being there. Animal Welfare Society's also asked us to use our facility. You know, again, I can't see where anybody would feel uncomfortable. And you know, we're really trying to promote businesses. I don't understand what the concern is about having meetings at a business facility if it's available to them. If it's, you know, if it's offered. The town really doesn't have enough meeting facilities to accommodate all of the committees and meetings that should be had. So I just, you know, I don't think, you know, the town should turn down that opportunity, I guess.
How many conflicts have there been where you couldn't meet here as opposed to?
We've ended up in that room a few times. We've ended up in, what do you call it, the code enforcement office a couple of times as well, and that is totally out of the question because Sam will not be able to, he's going to have to be wheelchair accessible. So that's definitely, you know, it's happened quite a few times. I've never counted. I couldn't tell you. I
If you got Wi-Fi here, if you're in this room,
In this room, I do.
very, very limited. Like if I want to go over things with the Facebook page, I can't because Facebook is blocked because of the RSU. So it is limited here as well. But this is the only place where, you know, there's not a code enforcement at all, and you can't get it in there. Not only that, there's no place you can, you know, we could look at individual laptops like that, but we couldn't project anything. So, you know, we look at, you know, stuff that Sam's been doing, all of his charts and stuff, and it's just, and like you said, our last meeting, he said it's important that we meet somewhere that he'll be able to show us his, you know, what he's been working on. So,
That, you know, what he's been working on, that can be shown right here with.
that can be, yeah. I don't know how that would work, I mean, I'm assuming it would work the same way with the Skype and stuff with John, when the time comes. But we don't always have this room.
What's the capacity limit with it at the conference?
I have 18 chairs in there now, and I could put more if I needed to. But anybody that's been to our meetings, I mean, we'd love to have more, trust me, we'll never fill it. You know? But it's just convenient, it's comfortable, and it works. And it would just eliminate any conflicts of having to share this room.
You propose to have all of your meetings there?
Yeah. You know, consistency. I mean, it's gonna be easier for us, and if once people know that they're there, you know.
let me tell you, my concern is that if we allow an economic development committee to find another locale to hold this meeting,
Yeah.
what's gonna stop other committees and boards coming forward and saying, hey, we'd like to have our meetings someplace else? And that starts to concern me. If we have, because we don't have consistency then, if we have boards and committees meeting in people's homes,
Which was an issue in the past.
that has been, that starts to get, and where are we gonna draw the line?
Right. Well, I can understand in people's homes it might be difficult. I
But
mean,
even in other businesses, I mean, where are we gonna say, no, we can't be doing that? I mean,
well, what's the reason of saying that they can't be held at businesses?
it could be, it could be, you know, the size of the
Well, I
the
mean-
room. I mean, you could have, for instance, you know, some committees may have an issue that could draw, you know, some opposition. That means people come, they voice opposition, those types of things. I mean, it could be a problem. And if
Yeah.
all of a sudden you got people standing outside, I mean, I know it's probably, that's a remote.
Right, and I can
possible.
understand if the facility didn't fit it, but, I mean, if that would happen in that room over there. My room's a lot bigger than that one.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so it would.
But then you certainly moved over there, so that's.
Right, well,
I mean, you have some options here is what I'm gonna
right,
say.
and if it got to the point where, I mean, we couldn't hold meetings there because of the capacity, then it's no longer available, but where it's available now, I
What
just-
happens if you're not on the EDC and
I don't know, I wasn't planning on going anywhere.
I didn't say.
I guess I didn't think that far enough. So, you know.
things happen, Linda, you know, like
Exactly, I
this.
might get voted on. No, I really, I honestly didn't think about that. I mean, but I have offered it before for things that we weren't available. I know that, I think the Historical Society had mentioned using it at some point. I don't know. I guess, I mean, I could let him in and.
If this were to happen and be allowed, and it became a problem or a conflict down the road with other boards saying we want to do it too, what would it take that, assuming it was approved now, what would it take to cut it off and say you cannot do it any longer because of conflicts with other people wanting to do the same thing and it's getting out of control?
Yeah.
Take a vote of this board to stop.
I think the biggest concern is the freedom of access, that you have to make sure that that's always, accessible to the public. And I think there were issues in the past with, things like that. And one thing that comes to mind is when we had our own school board, they were meeting at somebody's camp for workshops, and we said, you know, you realize you have to post this, it has to be, if everybody in town wanted to go there, you have to allow for that because of freedom of access. So there are certain issues, and I think that's why the board had set a policy of meeting in town facilities. I know they're limited, but,
Right.
you
Well,
know.
I don't know of too many, I mean, other than like the, you know, I don't know about that any other places that would have a conference room or something of that size that would be able to accommodate, you know, that many people. I mean, in town. Dutch Elm would, you know, obviously be able to do it. I mean, Dutch Elm had, I mean, I know it was just one meeting, but didn't they have an RSU,
Withdrawal.
public?
Yeah.
Informational sessions.
That wasn't,
But
that wasn't a town
Right,
sponsor.
that wasn't a town thing, that was.
Oh, no, there was a public forum.
We had a public,
You had a public forum.
we had a public meeting, the selectmen did one meeting there.
Oh, yeah, we did, we did.
But we were trying to do meetings at all areas of town at that
Yeah.
time. We were rotating around.
Correct.
We were trying to get people to attend.
I don't have a problem with them meeting due to the fact that we do have limited access right now. I mean, if and when we get a larger town hall with more meeting space that can be designated so that you know who's meeting what nights, and the rooms will all be, you know, wired for sound and all of that, I don't have a problem with that, because as you said, if between now and the time we do get available space, it becomes a problem, then we can always vote to stop it. But, I mean, I can see their problem. I know that when the Historical Society meets in that conference room, if there were 10 of us in there, it's crowded. So,
How many conference, you know, we've seen designs of the town hall, and we have one conference room in town hall.
But we typically try to stick to one meeting at night. I mean,
I guess my point is, a new town hall, how is that, if we go down that route, how's that gonna alleviate the problems with the meetings?
one meeting a night.
Well, you'll still have this place, won't you?
Ideally not.
yeah.
Oh, really? You won't be allowed to use
I'm not
this?
saying we won't be
We'll
able
be
to.
allowed to, but we won't want to, we won't need to.
Well, and then the Historical Society will have room for meetings, won't they?
Didn't we have
Right?
Oh, yeah,
proposed
we have
town
our
hall
building,
plan,
yeah.
the ability to
No,
split
No, but I'm
that
saying, would
conference
you
room?
be willing to share yours as well with community members for
Right.
meetings?
Well, that's why we're
Wasn't
building the
allowed to use
community
it,
house.
Right.
You know,
That's going to be, again,
Is there
that's
any
going
insurance
to
issues
not
with-
belong to the town.
Town-sponsored meetings out of,
No. No, it's the other way, usually the other way around. If it's private or other entities using town facilities, then there's an insurance necessity, but I don't believe there would be with your
What's the matter?
insurance.
Right, sure.
It's a public facility, so we'd be okay with that.
Well, my preference would be to leave it as is. I mean, the board has a policy, and you know, they have a nice place, and that's great, but if it becomes an issue where they truly can't have meetings, then I think we ought to review that, but to the same points that you brought up, John, you know, well, gee, let's, you know, this committee have a meeting here, and, you know, we gotta draw the line somewhere, and
So what you're saying is if they can't get this room, and actually even this room can't give them everything they need because there are certain things that they can't get on this room, what other space is available to you that's town space? The fire department? Can you meet at the fire department?
I was told
We can, it just has to be scheduled. Well, it's not something where, we'd have to know well in advance, but they've been much better at.
Because they have the big screen TV, do they have access so that you could get?
I don't know.
They do have Wi-Fi.
They have Wi-Fi, but do they have, I mean, you said there were some things that you were setting things up on Facebook, and you get it at the fire
I
department?
don't know.
That you wouldn't be able, you could, but you can't project it. They don't have a smart board there.
No.
but you could probably, we have to look at it, but you probably plug into the TV.
Yeah, I mean, there must be a way to do that. VGA cord.
TV.
we have a projector.
You do have a projector there?
So, I mean, for those instances where they have to get on Facebook, I wouldn't think that that's very often, but everything else, you know, can be done on a increase can be projected here.
But the thing, the problem that they're having is the fact that if they have their meetings, you have regularly scheduled meetings. And if they have their regularly scheduled meetings, then they get here, and there's another board here. So they're the ones that end up.
I schedule those well, they're scheduled well in advance now though, Velma, because the school started requiring us to use the automated system. It used to be we'd call Mary Lou, she'd put it in the system. It was pretty quick, but now with fear of losing the rooms, I have to book things. I mean, I have to book for the entire year for the board of selectmen, for the planning board, because any changes are a lot more difficult now.
And if there was
I think
ever a
that should
special
be an
meeting
issue.
called, I'm sure that isn't gonna happen, and we've talked about that, especially recently, where there's a lot going on that we'd like to get done. And we talked about, pulling a special meeting, and it's not easy to do, because you just gotta figure out where you're gonna have it.
I mean, once in a great while, I think would be okay, but to say have every single meeting there, I'm not in favor.
But I guess I still don't understand why.
Because the town has a policy, Linda, and to Tom's point, I think that, it sets a precedence, and then other folks, it can, the request, and we just,
What was the?
will it ever get out of
policy
hand?
is
It may
for-
not ever get out of hand, but, the reason to stop that from getting out of hand is to not allow it, period.
How could it, is anybody else asked? I mean, how
Because
is it
the
gonna
town
get
has a
out of hand?
policy.
I can't imagine there's too many other communities that are gonna come forward and ask. I can't imagine that anybody else is gonna ask.
Once it starts, who knows? I'm not saying it will, I'm not saying it won't, but
Well,
at one
I
time,
mean,
listen,
we
at one
could
time it was an
address it.
issue, right?
What?
And at one time it was an issue, so a policy was put in and they curbed it. That's why there's a policy that got put in place, because there was an issue.
Having meetings at a camp,
I'm done.
I think that is entirely different than having something at a local business right in town.
I recollect some other issues where meetings were held at other establishments. It did get a little out of control, people were just meeting wherever they wanted. And they weren't getting posted and. I appreciate what you say about.
Right, and that's the other reason for the consistency. If it's at the same place every time, it's not like we're jumping around from place to place. We're trying to be consistent so that people know where the meetings are.
Mr. Chair, entertain a motion?
Sure.
I make a motion that we allow them to try it on a trial basis for a few months or some meetings. If it becomes an issue of any kind at any time, we automatically vote to rescind the privilege, and they'd have to come back to a town-owned facility and arrange for meetings whenever they could.
What length of time, Bill? You said on a temporary basis, what length of time? 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months would be good. If there's no problem, they keep going, and if there's any issues or problems that arise, we vote to stop it.
I'll second that.
You live with that?
I'm good at that.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Can I vote where I sit on the committee?
Yeah, you're just a
You're just
selectmen's
a-
liaison.
yeah.
Yes.
4 to 1.
Thank you.
Sure. But we have to come back in 6 months and ask.
Well, if something does come up, I'm gonna ask why. You know that. We'll
Linda.
deal with that then.
Now, they have to post it also on the door at their,
I'll do something to notify people where this meeting takes place.
yeah,
Oh, you want it on the door the night of the meeting?
They need to know where to go.
yeah.
Those types of things.
We can
Big
do that.
welcoming sign.
Huh?
Public is welcome.
Follow the yellow line.
Follow the yellow brick road, you got
And
it.
also,
I can put a
would
sign
that
up.
go on the town web?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it'll get posted on all the
Yeah,
agendas
that's
at
good.
town hall, it'll
Yeah.
be emailed out with the agendas, it'll be clearly marked on the agenda, so.
Okay. Next issue is to review responses to the RFP for the Public Works truck body. And then to approve the award. We did.
I included in your packet the bids that we received. There were 3 bids. HP Fairfield came in at the best price, $42,207. Messer was next at $50,340, and Viking Sides was next at, oh no, I apologize, it was $49,860, fell in the middle. HP Fairfield's bid is about $9,000, $7,000 better than they did for us last year. It's the same body, it's the same piece of equipment, interchangeable parts. The additional cost issue was addressed at the bid opening from last year, so that everything is included, and I'm gonna let Roger go from there, because that's about all I know about the dump body. I can pass this around if you'd like. It is a side dump spreader. If you wanna see the copy of the body, I have it here. But Roger, you take it away. Oh, it's not red either, it's stainless steel.
You find the only bit is the time frame is 75 days from the time the PO is issued for the body to land. Other than that, it's identical to last year's, and I got no idea why it's almost $8,000 cheaper, because there's more in this spec that would include the extra valve that we had to buy last year that we had to mess with. The existing one has a body with a valve that's mounted off to the side, not in the bank of valves behind the cab like the other tile, so you can't use it. We ran into that last year. This time it's in there and it's still with an extra spreader chain, which is over $1,000. It's by far the best deal, and it's identical to the one we got last year.
Speaking to Travis, he said last year he was ordering 3 or 4 at a time, and this year I think he said they ordered 22 or 25 at a time. So if they got a bulk price there, and the price of stainless went down a little bit, and there was something about, I don't know if it was a tariff with Canada, or there was some issue with the Canadian government that allowed them to reduce the price too. I think they just cut into their profit, to be honest with you, but they came in, much better than they did last year, and you're
On the last one.
happy with the body you have on that truck now.
Worked fine all and it'll outlast this truck, no problem. This truck that this one's going on is about the same as mileage-wise as the other one was at the time. It's about 70,000 miles. The truck's got more miles in it. This body should outlive it, no problem. At some point in time.
This body, if the truck goes, this body will be easily
Well,
taken
depending on what
off.
happens to the truck, yeah.
If something happens,
It's
if something happens to the truck, we can easily take this dump body
This
off
body
and
will fit
put it on
on
a
a
truck.
cabin chassis.
And the body that's on the truck today, is it just gone, or it's?
If you want something solid to weld to, you gotta start at the very back and work your way forward, because it's been patched several times. It's done.
And these funds are where?
Public Works Capital Equipment Reserve.
Okay.
Currently, there's $104,000 in that account. Current fiscal year, there will be $40,000 added to the account. Next fiscal year, if approved at town meeting, there'll be another $50,000 added. So it stands at 104.
And go ahead.
I make a motion, we approve the bid from HP Fairfield for $42,207.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion, questions? All in favor then? Okay. Now we need to authorize the expenditure of funds to pay for it. From the Public Works Capital Equipment Reserve account.
In the amount of $42,207.
So move.
Second?
Any further discussions or questions about that? All in favor? Okay, next item is to provide the selectmen with the RSU-21 budget adopted by the validation meeting, which we voted on as a referendum tomorrow.
And just so you're aware, there's a 1.17% increase to the taxpayer of the town of Arundel.
1.17?
1.17. Initially, it was 1.14. It was in that ballpark all along, but I checked the numbers. Yeah, it's 1. For us, it's 1.17. It's higher than that for Ken Bucket for the pool.
Yeah, I was thinking, I thought it was less than a percent. I thought it was 0.7% originally.
No.
Okay, any other questions about that, folks? Okay. Okay, we need to review and sign the payroll and payables warrant. A motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
All in favor? Okay. I don't see our rec director here, so.
While you're signing that, I can run down and see your office.
Did you see the mailing that they sent out on the seasonal farm cottages? Did you get one?
No.
Yep.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
right
get
here.
it.
Yeah,
I didn't get it.
I got two, I don't know, my husband got one?
yeah,
I think my
I
husband got
got two
two.
also. That's it.
Yeah, see if he's missing.
I must have got yours, Dan, because I got two.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I didn't see that at all. If it looks anywhere near their pictures, it's gonna be a pretty place.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the tax.
I was on the planning board when I did all the rendering. Nice looking, very nice looking.
Does anybody else have any other old business? No? Okay.
So you're all coming to vote tomorrow, and the Historical Society will be having bake sale, of course.
What again?
Is it just bake sale, or are we gonna be buying something else from?
Oh, we have raffles too.
Oh,
It's going to be buying anything that you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Did you get your car detailed yet?
No, I just got the thing in the mail yesterday, or today.
I think the raffle tomorrow is for a $100 gift certificate to Prime Motors. That's what we have for a raffle tomorrow. I think that's what we're doing tomorrow. Isn't that what we said with our raffle tomorrow? It's a $100 gift. It's a $100 gift certificate from Prime, which you can use for whatever at Prime.
Buy a car.
Here she goes.
I don't know if she thinks this is the formal entrance.
Yeah,
You can take the shortcut.
yeah.
Well, I figured I'd do this one.
Be healthy, be active.
I'm following the rules.
entrance.
Did you control Leslie for her down home?
Did with the new principal, yes.
Yeah.
That's how I met him. So we're here to talk about Christmas trees.
Okay. It's June.
It's true. And I saw Jason this weekend, and he said, let's come up with something that's really unique and different. Rather than bringing, trucking a Christmas tree in or something like that. And Jason mentioned that, you know, in Cape Porpoise, I don't know if you've seen the lobster buoy Christmas tree that they have. They pile it up like a pyramid, and it's their own Christmas tree that you just don't see anywhere else. So I said, well, I think we could get away with lobster traps here. Well, we could probably do hay bales. That would be something that would be certainly all our own. And I thought we would see what you guys think about that, or if you have any other ideas other than, you know, trucking in a tree. And we talked about location a little bit. The fire station right on the corner there between those two busy roads, obviously, is not an ideal location to have hundreds of people. There's no parking, and it's not great for the kids to be running around near the road there. It's dark. We could look for a different location. But I had mentioned to Todd today that one location that we might approach the proper people about would be perhaps the Historical Society property on the corner of Limerick Road and 111. You know, if it was cold already and the ground was frozen and it wasn't snowing that day, we might be able to get everybody parked right in there. But if it hasn't been cold yet and the ground is still soft, then obviously that would be a parking nightmare too. I just, you know, I think Jason and I thought it might be time to start that discussion because see what people think.
Hay bales, huh?
What do you think? It's unique, right?
Yeah. Put some Christmas decorations on it and light it up. And
What's the chances of getting one more year?
There you go.
John?
Chances aren't that good.
no, if you stop and look at
I'm
it, it's bad.
Yeah, it's not, what are the chances that tree will get another year out of it?
Oh, no.
No, that's bad.
There you go, that just.
It's too bad the school field is so far from the road, because you could have people park here and go and do it out in the field and then, but it's not visible from the
Right, you
road.
never see the tree.
How many
Except for the
people,
turnpike.
I've never attended one of those, but how many people usually attend?
They get a good
It's-
crowd.
Is it a crowd?
Well, they usually have the kids sing first, so that draws a lot of the parents, and then you have Santa that comes, and the station is full.
All three bays of the fire station, standing room,
Yeah.
three
The
years.
trouble
I've
is,
done it.
it's dangerous when the party's over, because now it's pitch black at the
Oh, yeah.
corner.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Kids are trying to cross the street, and
yeah.
And if there weren't an inside facility, it wouldn't be, if it was nice out and there were no facility that people were automatically willing to go into, it would be more of, I think, a festive outdoor kind of activity. Maybe get a permit from the fire department, have a bonfire or something like that. But people don't mull around outside anymore very long.
well, the hay bale tree. No, in all seriousness, you can have a bonfire at the end of the party.
Like, yeah.
Lighting of
Sounds
the
a
tree.
little-
No, not lighting of the tree. The tree on fire.
Nobody has to come down here and plug the lights in every night. You can burn the tree at the end of the party.
The hard part is this, that Santa for the kids. You
Yes.
know, You need a facility, and it's too bad we couldn't do it in the gym, but the RSU doesn't have anything religious.
Talk to Donna, because even when we have Arundel Day up there, that upper part of the field, the part of the field closest to Route 111, the high part,
Mhm.
even last year, when we were getting stuck down here,
Mhm.
they were parking up there was fine.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
you
and
know,
it poured for
I mean,
what, 2 days?
I certainly
before
don't want to
then.
make the assumption that the historical societies would even want us there.
Yeah.
It was just, you know, something that came to mind that I thought I would see what you all thought of. And if we want to keep it at the fire station, we can do that. It's definitely a concern for the fire station for us to have it there. More of a concern when it's cold. The colder it is, the more people want to get inside, but the less the fire department wants the trucks out, because then you worry about the fluids freezing up and.
See, there would be nothing there for you to get inside to get warm.
And I don't think there usually is. If tree lightings in other communities, I don't think people are accustomed to having a place to go inside. We might, I think that if there wasn't a place to go inside, it would just be expected. But if there's a building there, people want to go in it. You know, the way that we plan the Christmas tree lighting every year is that people come, they gather outdoors, the children they sing, and then Santa Claus comes, you know, makes his grand entrance, and then he goes inside, and then people can go in and have pictures taken with Santa. But there's always, that fire department is full of people before the kids start singing, even if we keep the doors locked. One person wants to go in and, you know, see what there is to eat, or they go to the bathroom, and the door's being held open, and then everybody's in there.
Now, who provides the food?
We do.
Okay.
What's that? Well, it's
Cookies and hot chocolate.
usually, yeah,
chocolate.
just simple, just
Yeah.
cookies and hot chocolate, just something for them to munch on while they're waiting in line to see Santa. So certainly if we went to the Historical Society property, we would definitely be faced with a challenge of what to do with Santa.
Hopefully they'll have stairs up in the buildings. I don't know how warm it would be, but at least it would be.
I think Santa would
Santa
appreciate
could
that
stay
there
at
was
your
no
house
heat.
and
Probably
He
so.
hates
It's
how
time
hot
for
it is in
him.
the fire station.
You know, Santa could just stay at your house until it was time for him to get there.
That field could also be, you know, used for the wagon rides that happen right there.
That's true.
I mean, again, I don't know if the Historical Society would want us to do that, it's just a.
That high area of the field that you're talking about
Yeah.
does not belong to the Historical Society.
I know it doesn't, that's why I said you have to talk to Donna,
Who does it
because
belong to?
Donna and John
Okay.
Oh, it's
Kindred.
her own property.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, okay.
But usually once the hay's mowed, they don't, you know,
Yeah.
they've been good about it.
Yeah,
And I
they're
think that
real
was,
good, but
right.
you'd have to go through them first.
But I think it would be a big plus for the Historical Society too, because
Have that exposure,
I think that's one of the things that we're really working hard for, is to get the community involved and to see that this is not just a Historical Society building, that it's there for the community, you know, and I think that would be a big plus.
Sure.
Just for the record, I think burning the trees is a bad idea, though. Gotta go on record.
Well, I think it needs to be lit up, even if it's on a timer. I mean, I think the reason communities light a tree is to signify the beginning of the season, and then the tree's lit every night until the season's over.
Well, we do have electricity there.
Yeah, right by the road.
Yeah.
I had heard, yeah.
The whole new meaning to tree lighting, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we think
Keep
about
Jason
that?
away from that.
Well, I think it's a good idea to chase it down and see what's available.
Yeah.
You know,
Does anybody have any suggestions for other properties, or would you prefer to see a real tree?
I wish there were the suggestions for other properties for the
There
town
is.
office.
Right, there, I know there's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't really thought any.
Of course, Linda had stated, I could ask for years.
Yeah.
Even if you're outdoors, you gotta, the only property I can think of that's got access to electricity
Yeah.
is gonna be.
That's town owned. Then you
Well,
look
it's
at
not even
private
town owned, I
property.
mean, it's a thoroughfare.
Right, right, community.
But at
I
least
guess
there's
I meant
the
community.
connection with the community.
Yeah.
Everything else would be private property.
Will be private property, and I don't know if we want to get into that.
And then, and
Between that, keeping it lit and
insurance and all that sort of stuff, somebody's gonna get nervous about that.
That's what I said, Dawn.
Yes.
Yeah, you may have an
Yeah.
issue on keeping a tree lit with the next door neighbor to the historical
Yeah.
society.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Well, he
That'd
lights
be
up
fine.
the.
I understand, but he lights up big time.
Yeah.
the only other place I can think of is the transfer station.
Yeah, a lot of people go there on Saturdays.
That's true.
That's what you said.
Saturdays and Wednesdays,
That's true. There's plenty of parking.
put up on top of the hill.
See it from everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have sliding at the same time.
Yeah.
Do it
We
more
could
than
decorate the
days.
cell tower.
Remember the idea I told you Reynolds and I had? We could string the wires from the cell tower down to the ground so it looks like a tree and you can see it from all over town.
If you can get these guys to agree to that.
I'll climb the tower.
Reynold complains about decorating. What are you gonna say about decorating a cell tower?
Don't like that too much.
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
Salt shed kind of looks like a tree, we just,
Yeah.
all right. So what you're asking for is ideas from the board to
Yeah,
move forward.
or support, or not support, whatever you think about that.
It absolutely couldn't be out here, because the tree couldn't be seen, that's the only issue.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You'd see it from the turnpike. But the residents wouldn't see it.
Yeah, I don't know that it would, you know, meet the goal.
So no matter where you put it, other than where it is right now,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna see it, because that's the center of the town, so.
No, I said try for the historical society location.
Okay.
When's their next meeting? Thursday, the...
We just met for it last week.
We'll be here tomorrow voting, selling food. Come on in.
We did.
All the-
Yeah,
It won't be an official meeting, but it'll be enough of us that you can, talk to us and get an idea of what people think.
Am I allowed in
I
there?
don't think it would cost us.
Am I allowed in there?
As
Yeah,
long as you're
okay.
We do it
outside,
anyway, don't we, for the fire truck?
As long as what?
as long as you stay outside the gated area, the
Okay,
holding area.
okay, I'll try to get there. I didn't hear what you guys were saying.
Just come in and buy food and buy your lunch, I mean, that's,
Okay.
We were just talking about
the
insurance.
insurance, those sorts of things, it's not big.
Okay,
We'll handle the fun stuff, you just coordinate it.
okay.
And so, task is, if anybody's got any idea on hay bales, think about it, you have a little time.
yeah.
It'll be on you in a heartbeat, though, keep telling you.
It will, because there's planning to be done. And I think it should be, just for the record, I think it should be mulch too. I don't think it should be anybody's good hay. I think we could certainly put mulch used or something like that.
Build this experiment out of hay bales.
Are you offering?
Like 3
How tall?
Some green spray paint.
How tall's that tree, Roger? 75 feet? No,
50 the most.
50 foot.
Because I had asked Roger to limit and then pre-drill holes. You can keep the post and just stick branches around the collection.
That's worse than burning the tree.
I've seen some cell towers, you laugh, I've seen cell towers in Massachusetts, in New Hampshire, that they drill them and they put branches in, you can't tell it's tower.
Right. They're doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like one right on 495.
I didn't hear anything, yeah, I didn't hear anything from Bill or Dan.
If you wanted a real tree,
You have.
we have trees out back that they're just sitting there growing. And, we couldn't put up a 50-foot tree, but we could put up a 30, easy enough.
And could we do that on, if we had it, I mean, that location over there, the Historical Society location is a great location because you've got the room. As long as we can use Donna and John's field. But could we put a tree there? I mean, dig a hole and,
2 or 3 foot supervisor or something on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
And a crane, you need a crane every year to.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Well, I think it would just be, do it this year and then see what
So that other
happens.
tree grows, because we do have another tree at Town Hall, it's just not all grown up yet.
I support the idea, I mean, I don't have anything else to offer, but I mean, I do support doing something, obviously. But at this point, I don't have anything else to offer, except lighting.
All right.
a 30-foot tree is easy enough to stand up.
yeah.
50, you need a crane.
Yes.
I'm assuming you'd rather see a tree than hay bale?
I would for Christmas, but
Yeah.
I'm not all overly excited about the lobster trap tree either, but they do it.
Yeah.
I'm still young enough to like the greens and the lights, and I'm sure the kids like that better too, I
Did you
think.
say me too, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay, and
I'm
don't,
not saying I'm against it, I would
Yeah.
prefer it.
okay. All right,
Right.
thanks for your time.
Thanks, Jen.
I'm gonna go.
Back to your employees.
I will.
Take the shortcut.
I am taking the short
Okay, is there any other business from the board? If not, then we'll entertain a motion to go into executive section pursuant to 1 MRS, section 405(6)A to discuss the personnel matter.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?